Hey everybody, welcome to another amazing episode of
The Unbox Boys!
I'm Dave, along with my big brother today, Mark, and I would totally mess it up if I tried to list all your armed forces accomplishments, so give us a Reader's Digest version of all your armed forces ranks and titles and stuff.
Well, you know, I started off as a private, retired as a E8 first sergeant, and spent 36 and a half years, spent 1 year in beautiful Iraq. And that's the Reader's Digest version.
Yeah, just retired. It was last year?
Yep, almost 31 July will be a year.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
And I recall when you were in Iraq, we had the benefit of Skype, and your big request while you were there for some reason was pepperoni sticks.
Yeah.
What was the deal? You just started to crave them in Iraq?
Well, yeah, because they don't have them. I mean, you got the little Slim Jims in the PX maybe,
Yeah.
but the ones at 7-Eleven,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what we're saying.
Yeah.
So, well, on behalf of everybody watching, thank you for your service.
It was my pleasure.
Good. So, apart from you locking me outside naked and
That was fun.
running my head into a fridge, this is when I was a child, not recently. Some of my fondest memories involve something that we're going to review today, and that is wrestling.
Which I happened to meet a few wrestlers while I was in Iraq.
Oh, really?
Wasn't any of these four, though.
All right. These were just some that I picked up. For me, I remember watching. We're based in Oregon. I remember watching Portland wrestling late at night. Was that Friday nights or Saturday nights?
Yeah, Saturday
maybe?
nights, and the biggest laugh we got, which is really funny now, being I live in Washington, was those commercials, and they talked about onions or something, and Walla Walla, Washington.
Oh, yeah.
I just thought that was the most hilarious thing ever.
And they had all the Tom Peterson ads.
Yeah.
Wake up, and you knock on the screen. Wake up, that's Tom Peterson. So yeah, some fun stuff for you Northwest folks. You might remember some of that. But anyway, so we're talking old school. This was back, Playboy Buddy Rose was the person everybody loved to hate on that. Rip Oliver. Roddy Piper was on there. What? Roddy
Yeah.
Piper. Who else?
He went into comedy.
Did he really?
Yeah,
had some films and stuff.
He was a comedian. Yeah.
Superfly Jimmy Snuka back then. Stan Stasiak.
You know all these guys are dead, right?
I know most of them are. But there was some good. In fact, I remember being able to see in person at one of the armories, which is where they always did them. Was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's father, Rocky Johnson, was
yep.
an old wrestler there. In fact, I remember he was wrestling against Buddy Rose, I think it was, and they did one of these moves where they get outside the ring and they have the guy kind of spread eagle with a leg on each side of the post that holds the turnbuckle and ram him in that way. I'm like, so how Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson ever came along, I don't know, but I was like, dude, I'm never going to be a wrestler if that's what it takes. I don't know that I ever got to see any of these guys in person, but these are some of the classics here from the old school. We've got Andre the Giant, of course, and the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. And then, this is how old I am. I think these guys are new school, but I know they've been around.
They've been around for about, let's see, Cena's been around for probably close to 20 years.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I don't know who's going on, who's in it now. I see at the stores tons of wrestler figures. I'm like, I don't know any of these guys. I need the old
He's like 15, 20 years, something like that.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan and some of those old guys. But yeah, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson here. So I'm not one that has commonly done, in fact, at all, any wrestling figures, but I thought with my brother here, we could check this out and maybe reminisce a little bit.
Yeah.
So which one you want to open first, you think? New school, middle school, or old school?
Let's go with old school.
Old school. All right, let's check out. For those of you who do these wrestling reviews, you know what these are all about. This is from kind of the WrestleMania days. It says Andre the Giant there with the figures. I think scale-wise, this is probably pretty close because he was a big man. And then
He was a giant.
he was a giant, and of course was in The Princess Bride. In fact, if you ever have a chance, Google Andre the Giant beer can, I think it is, and you can see him holding it, and it just looks like a little doll can in his massive hands. Just ridiculous. But so they say celebrate the heritage of WrestleMania. So they've got these two, and these two are the ones that we've got here, and then just some kind of details and warnings on the bottom. So let's crack it open. All right. Well, first let's take a look at the $1 Million Man here, shall we?
Right, yeah.
Ted DiBiase. Now, with the action figures that we typically review here on the Unbox Boys, they usually have a relatively kind of deadpan expression on their face, or they give you a couple face options ahead. This one, he's all kinds of surprised. Just, hey! So
I think he's thinking, man, that's a big guy.
Yeah, facing Andre the Giant for sure. He's like, what did I get into? But as far as the sculpt goes, I think it looks pretty good. I don't know. I'm kind of looking over at some of these other guys, and it looks like there's some variation. Not like they use one mold for every wrestler, but they try and give kind of a different body shape, different degrees of definition as far as muscle tone and all that. But as far as the hair goes here and the face sculpt, I don't know if I would recognize that as Ted DiBiase if I didn't see it on the on the box, but it's pretty good. Digging the beard there. As far as likeness, like I said, I don't know. Would you know that was Ted DiBiase if you just saw the head?
No.
Yeah. It just kind of looks like a normal guy. As far as articulation goes, interesting. It's got a little bit of an up and down, side to side as well. There's no ab crunch going on at all, so not really a lot there.
How
Single.
did he get that six pack then?
I don't know. He must have worked on it. Well, he does a lot of twists this way,
okay.
Yeah, side to side. As far as the arms go, he's got about a 90 degree, but he can go up a little bit if you get the arm just right. Bicep cut there, single joint at the elbow, and the wrist twist and go up and down. And as you saw, a twist at the waist there. Legs, no splits at all, but he's got a pretty good range going back and forth. Let's see, no thigh cut there. Looks like maybe a single jointed knee. He's got this pad on, it's hard to tell. Not going much farther than that. Boot cut, and the foot goes kind of up and down there. And then as far as paint goes, yeah, he's got some nice shading to his hair, the beard, the eyes. It's always a plus when they actually go in the same direction if they're supposed to. So that's good. For the rest of it, just kind of black and white with some paint apps on there, which don't look too bad, I'd say. What do you think? Impressed? Not impressed?
Not too much on that one.
Okay. So Andre the Giant, which we have here, he's kind of got this just psychotic look on his face. He's going to kill you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Of course not. He's a giant.
Yeah. And so it looks like the same as far as articulation goes. You can see where the joints are and all that. It looks pretty much the same as the other guy. Yeah. But yeah, I would say, especially with the mutton chops there, that's definitely Andre the Giant. No mistaking that. Did you ever get a chance to see him in person?
No.
You didn't?
No.
How about DiBiase? Did you see him?
No.
Who were some of the guys that you saw?
I saw, let's see, Mickey James, Alicia Fox, The Miz, Batista.
Now, some of these are people that came over while you were in Iraq.
Yeah, these guys came over to Iraq, and I was their escort when they came to my camp.
Okay. So some of those were divas then? Not
Just, Mickey James and Alicia Fox.
Okay.
Alicia Fox, I think she was like barely 21.
Oh, really?
At that time. And I remember her a lot because we were in the DFAC, and we were coming out of the DFAC, and they had a bunch of the little Bibles sitting there, and she's like, "Oh, can I take one of those?" I was like, "Absolutely." Yeah, read it. Yeah. Said, and if you ever run into Sting, if you want to know something, because Sting's a Christian, you can
nice.
pick his mind.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Now, Sting's still around, dude?
Yeah, he makes little appearances now and then.
Okay.
He's pretty old.
So with this Mickey James, your wife said don't go anywhere near her when she's over there?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So, of course, I had to show her the picture of me and Mickey James. The good husband I am, I listened. It was my job. Somebody had to do it.
I haven't seen this, but I assume she's one of these attractive divas who
Yeah, she's all right. Yeah,
Watch what you're saying.
Yeah.
Ah, she's all right.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
Yeah, your wife's going to see this. All right. Let's crack open these two as well here. We've got John Cena and The Rock. So there we have John Cena, another one of these kind of wrestler-actor crossovers, who's been in some films as well as, of course, had a great wrestling career. What do you know about Cena?
I know he had a good military career, too. He was a Marine.
Okay. Wow. Hence the haircut.
Yeah.
Okay. Of all these figures, he kind of looks perhaps the most defined. I don't know if that's true to his reality or not, but he's compared to these old school guys like DiBiase, who's toned, but this guy's
Well,
ripped,
that's because he
I
got pre-steroid and steroid.
Okay. And Andre's just like, I don't need to be toned at all, man. You still ain't beating me. So you're saying
Just kidding, John.
Yeah.
John.
Yeah, wasn't me. I'm just looking at action figures, man. Again, the same kind of cuts and style here. That looks like a pretty friendly guy. Although, from the neck down, it's obvious, I don't want to get in the ring with this guy. But from the neck up, he looks like a friendly guy I'd like to hang out with. So as far as the paint and all that, looks pretty good. Looks like he's got some of his You Owe Me logos there.
That's You Can't See Me.
Was that what it is?
Yeah. That's John Cena saying.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
He flips them over, slams them down. He gets up in front of their face. You can't see me.
Oh, okay, I see. It's a C with a slash, circle slash. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
See, I don't watch wrestling.
I don't watch it either.
Yeah. But you know that much at least. Here I am looking like an idiot. But as the Inbox Boys watchers know, not the first time, won't be the last time. So anyway, there's John Cena. They're a pretty cool looking figure. I suppose if you collect action figures of wrestling guys, you probably already have at least one John Cena in your collection. And then probably, I would go on record as saying this is probably one of the most famous wrestlers ever as far as crossing over into film and everything else. Because I can't think of any others who have had that level of success. Can you think of any?
John Cena's close, but yeah.
So
a lot more of these wrestlers are getting in movies too. Apparently, WWE doesn't play as much as we think.
Yeah. A real career. So it's probably less painful to do movies too. I'd say that's a pretty good likeness of Dwayne The Rock Johnson on the face there. I mean, I've seen some other figures from who was it, NECA or Figuarts? I saw one there, but it's more. You're going to pay more for that, closer to $50 than whatever these were. For a couple of them, it was like maybe 15 or $20. Yeah.
I think they could have done the eyebrow raise on him because he always does that eyebrow thing. That would have been really cool.
And I think in that, I want to say it was a Figuarts one where they had a couple of different head options and one had the eyebrow. So yeah, if you were going to just have one and you wanted kind of that signature look, it probably would have had the eyebrow raise. Can you do the eyebrow raise thing? The one eyebrow? Perfect. Look just like The Rock. But anyway, yeah, he's well defined as well. Nice detail here. I don't know if that's. Can't imagine that's hand done on everyone. That must be some kind of template they have. But it's real clean, tattoo wise. Looks nice. I don't have tattoos. You do. So.
Well, and he said that hurt like heck, and he'd never do it again.
Yeah. Backstory. While raising my children, we would encourage them to maybe not get tattoos just because we didn't have them and for no other real reason that. But my brother, every time he'd come down and visit, he'd always have a new tattoo. So I said, that's fine, but just tell the kids. And it hurt like crazy, and I'll never do it again. But it didn't work. I think they're still thinking about it. So, anyway, yeah, pretty good. They've got The Rock spelled out on his trunks there with the. I'm guessing that's a bull.
That's a bull.
Okay, but you have to have his legs just right to have the ears going up there. Otherwise, the ears disappear and he's just
like
snorting.
He's just pointing.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, the tattoo work on there I think is really good. So there you have it. As far as slab scale goes, if I were to throw out a random number, I think they're pretty good looking figures. Maybe give it an overall. I don't know, 3 out of 4 because articulation's a little bit lacking, and but as far as the likeness, the sculpt, the paint, I think it's all done pretty well. So yeah, I'll give it an overall 3 out of 4 for these guys.
They did great on his hair.
They did. That must have taken minutes. So he's got a big seam in the middle of his head there. Looks like. You have that too? Yeah, you got it too. Okay. All right. So our first and perhaps our last review of wrestling action figures. It's just fun, but that's the last thing I need is another series of action figures to get into and collect, because there are a ton of them out there. If you know me, I'm a completist, so I want to have them all. So I'll just leave it at that. What would be the ultimate battle if you could choose like one old school guy against one new school guy? Kind of like in Rocky Balboa, where they had the new young guy, and there was a video game battle that they simulated. And who would be the old guy pick, and who would be the young guy pick?
Andre the Giant and the Big Show.
This Big Show, another giant guy.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Maybe it happens on some of those wrestling video games. I don't know where you can do that or not. But well, thanks again for hanging out. Thanks for serving the country.
It was just a short trip, but it was worth it.
Yeah. He's come down for my daughter's wedding, so he kind of was obligated. But this was fun. So be sure to leave a comment if you like for my brother, thanking him for his service. Slap that thumbs up button, of course, the subscribe button, and what else?
Go
share
Hawks.
it. Hit the Go Hawks. You should see his. Send me. I'll here for a second. Here, I'll put. He's a big Seahawks fan, being in Washington. Here's some pictures of his vehicles. One is the truck is the Seahawks. Do you have that little green vehicle? The little green thing is the Seahawks thing, and then he's got the slingshot, which is not Seahawks, but America.
The slingshot was when we bought that about a year after we decided that we wanted that to be a memorialized vehicle for all our fallen soldiers. So
okay,
that's
so
what we
that
did
painted
with
up
that.
recently by
Yeah.
who's the paint guy?
We got that by Mike Lavelli of Killer Paint up in Snohomish, Washington. He is just fantastic. He's known worldwide. He's an innovator
great
of the
job.
flames.
And then you got the motorcycle. He didn't paint that too, did he?
No, guy Kevin Jones in Olympia painted that for me.
That's American flag design too. There, so
Yeah.
he's all about being a patriot and a Seahawks fan.
The only thing we have that doesn't have anything on is the minivan. We're working on that.
What would you put on the minivan?
Actually, Annie wants music
His
notes
wife.
on it,
Okay.
on the sides, and it says, music is not what I do, it's what I am.
Nice. And that would go along nicely with the license plate frame that says "Help, he farted, and I can't get out."
Perfect match.
Yeah, it's a swagger wagon. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If so, be sure to slap that thumbs up and share it with your friends. Click our circular logo in the top left to subscribe to our channel. It's absolutely free. And there's a link to another video you might like in the bottom left. If you want to reach out to us, comment, or check out our info in the description below. And above all, remember, God loves you. It's the truth. And Jesus is the proof.
Peon Box Boys.